This is your need to know. This is your need to know.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into the world of hacking.
Ooh, hacking.
We've got a really fascinating mix of sources for this one. Historical accounts, technical explanations, even some art, believe it or not,
Yeah.
to help us really understand this world,
Right.
which is often misunderstood, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
A lot of misconceptions out there.
For sure.
Yeah.
So get ready to explore this realm with us. I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
Me too.
It's really interesting to see how much hacking has evolved over the years, from
Totally
its
stunning.
origins to like the different motivations behind it, and even we'll touch on the artistic side of hacking. It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's a whole world.
It is a whole world.
Yeah.
It's funny. When I hear the word hacker, I instantly picture, like those Hollywood scenes.
Right.
Like someone in a dark room, like frantically typing away,
Yeah, green text on a black screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
But where does that term even really come from?
Well, believe it or not, the word hacker originated at MIT.
MIT.
Yeah, back in the 1960s.
Wow. Okay.
Not exactly the image that comes to mind, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about some shadowy underground group or...
Nope, not at all. It all started with a group of students in the Tech Model Railroad Club.
Okay.
And these were tech enthusiasts who were particularly passionate about programming, and
Okay.
they saw hacking as this, as a way to problem solve, to push the boundaries of what computers could do, and
Yeah.
it was very playful, clever,
So it's like more about intellectual curiosity and innovation.
Absolutely, yeah. Back then, hacker was actually like a badge of honor. It
Interesting.
meant you were like ingenious, you really deeply understood technology, and you loved to tinker, you loved to find like creative solutions. They were all about like the free flow of information.
Okay. So that's really interesting. So the original hackers were almost like
Yeah,
the good guys.
the good guys, exactly.
Yeah. They were all about exploring, learning, and
Yeah,
pushing boundaries.
sharing that knowledge.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But obviously we all know that hacker has a much darker connotation today, right?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah. So how did that shift happen?
Well, as computer security became more important,
Yeah.
the meaning of hacker started to split. You still had those original innovators, but then you had individuals that were using their skills for illegal activities,
Right.
breaking into systems for, personal gain.
Right. So it became like this,
Yeah, a fork in the road.
a fork in the road.
Yeah,
So two groups with the same skills, but very different goals.
exactly. And this led to this distinction between hackers, the original innovators,
Uh-huh.
and crackers, those who break into systems but with malicious intent.
Yeah. And this whole debate is actually reflected in this thing called the jargon file.
Oh yeah, the jargon file.
Have you heard of this? It's really fascinating.
I love the jargon file.
Yeah, it's basically like a dictionary of early hacker slang, full of terms like frob, foo, and
Right.
mung,
Yes.
and it really gives you a glimpse into that early hacker culture.
Right. Yeah. The jargon file is
It's amazing.
it's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to understand the evolution of hacker language
Yeah.
and culture, for sure.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
so cool. So we've got hackers versus crackers, but it sounds like there's even more nuance to how we categorize them.
Well, to get a clearer picture of how we kind of categorize different hackers, I think we need to look at the hat system,
Okay.
which categorizes hackers by their intentions.
Okay.
So you have your black hats, you have your white hats.
A hat system.
Okay. Yeah, and then you have those that operate in the gray area, the gray hats.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I like this. So break it down for me. Let's start with the black hats. I'm guessing those are the bad guys.
Yeah, you got it. Black hat hackers are your cyber criminals.
Okay.
They're driven by things like financial gain, revenge, the thrill of causing chaos.
Right.
You know, data breaches, ransomware attacks, identity theft, that kind of stuff.
So black hats They're all about personal gain,
Yeah.
often with really harmful consequences.
Pretty much. They operate outside the law, outside ethical boundaries. You remember the WannaCry ransomware attack?
Oh, yeah.
Crippled businesses, individuals worldwide.
Yeah.
That's a prime example of black hat hacking in action.
Right, and that attack really highlighted just, like, the sheer amount of damage they can inflict,
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so black hats, bad guys. What about the white hats? I'm assuming they're the good guys?
Yeah, the white hats are they're the ethical hackers. They use their skills to actually improve security. They're finding vulnerabilities and reporting them before the black hats can exploit them. They're like,
Yeah, so they're basically working on the side of good,
yeah, they are
making the digital world a safer place.
making the world a safer place. Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of companies actually hire white hat hackers to test their systems and to help them identify and fix weaknesses before they become problems.
So it's like having a security
So
consultant.
it's having a security
Who
consultant
knows all the tricks of the trade.
who knows all the tricks of the trade. Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we've got the good guys, the bad guys. Where do the gray hats fit into all of this?
The gray hats are the ones who kind of blur the lines.
Okay.
They might hack into systems without permission, but not necessarily with malicious intent.
Okay.
Their goal might be to
So they're like...
yeah, they're a bit of a wild card.
Yeah.
Good intentions, but not always playing by the rules.
Right.
So they operate in this kind of legal gray area.
Yeah.
And their actions can be,
Right.
Both beneficial and controversial. Sometimes they're pushing for better security practices,
Yeah.
but their methods,
Right.
can ruffle some feathers.
Voice. Yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds like there's just this whole spectrum of motivations within the hacking world.
absolutely.
It's not just like good, bad.
Yeah.
Like there's so much in between.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuance.
Yeah.
And I think to really understand this world, we need to explore the various motives that drive people to become hackers in the first place.
Right. Because it's easy to just assume that it's all about like money
Yeah.
or causing trouble or,
Right. Right.
But it sounds like there's like a lot more to it.
Oh, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
There are several key motives behind hacking.
Yeah.
And it's important to understand, that range of reasons
Yeah.
that drive individuals to engage in these activities.
Okay. Well, let's dive into those then. Like what's
Yeah, let's do it.
what's the first one we should explore?
Let's start with the most obvious, I guess, which is financial gain.
Okay.
A lot of hackers, particularly black hats, are driven by the potential to make money.
Yeah.
They might steal credit card numbers,
Correct.
engage in online fraud, hold data hostage for ransom,
Yeah.
things like that.
So like the ransomware attacks we were just discussing,
Right, exactly.
they cripple systems
Yeah.
and they demand payment
Yeah.
to unlock them.
Yep.
Not exactly ethical.
Not ethical.
But definitely profitable.
Profitable, yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the rise of cryptocurrency and the dark web has made it a lot easier for these criminals to operate anonymously and move money around
Well, yeah.
without being detected. So
Right, so it adds this like extra layer
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
difficulty. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so money is a big factor, but what about hackers who, they're not driven by financial gain?
Right.
What else is at play?
For some, it's all about reputation within the hacking subculture.
Okay.
They want to prove their skills,
Mhm.
earn bragging rights,
Right.
gain recognition.
So it's almost like,
Yeah, like an extreme sport, kind of.
yeah.
Like pushing the limits to see how far they can go.
Exactly, yeah.
These hackers often they'll leave behind their handles or their online nicknames.
Oh, okay.
As a kind of digital graffiti,
Right.
proof that
Like I was here,
I was here, exactly.
but with a lot more technical skills involved.
With a lot more technical skill involved.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we've got financial gain, reputation. What other
Yeah.
reasons might people turn to hacking?
Another big one is corporate espionage. Companies might hire hackers to steal trade secrets from competitors, sabotage their operations, or to gain an unfair advantage in the marketplace.
So it's like digital
Yeah, digital espionage.
Espionage.
Industrial espionage.
Instead of stealing physical products, they're stealing information.
Information, exactly.
Yeah.
And it highlights, how hacking isn't just a threat to individuals, but it can impact, entire industries.
Entire industries.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the state-sponsored attacks.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget about those.
Where governments are using hackers to achieve, political or military goals, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're talking, cyber warfare and espionage on a global scale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nation states using hacking to gather intelligence, disrupt critical infrastructure, spread propaganda, or even to cripple their adversaries.
That's pretty scary.
It is, yeah. I mean, one example, the Stuxnet worm, which targeted Iranian nuclear facilities, that was in 2010. It was a sophisticated attack that actually caused physical damage to the centrifuges that they used to enrich uranium.
So we're not just talking about data theft or website disruptions here.
This is real world.
It has real world
consequences.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is it really raises the stakes. So, as you can see, the motivations behind hacking are diverse and complex, reflecting the multifaceted nature of this world.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how something that started with playful curiosity at MIT has evolved into something with such far-reaching implications.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But to really get a sense of this world, I think it helps to put a face to the name, Who are some of the most notable figures in hacker history? Well, we could start with a name that's pretty much synonymous with hacking, especially in its early days, Kevin Mitnick.
Okay. Kevin Mitnick, I've heard that name.
He became notorious in the late 1970s for hacking the ARC, which was the computer system used by Digital Equipment Corporation.
Right.
So
Kevin Mitnick, wasn't he considered kind of a celebrity hacker?
Yeah, he was. Mitnick's exploits really captured the public imagination.
Yeah.
He became kind of a symbol of the hacker's ability to outsmart even the most secure systems,
Right. But didn't his fame come with a price?
It did.
I vaguely remember that he ended up in trouble with the law.
Yes. Yeah, he did. His story is definitely a cautionary tale. His skills were undeniable, but they were ultimately used for illegal activities, and he served time for his actions. A reminder that even in the digital realm, there are consequences.
Yeah, it's a classic example of how the same skills can be used for good or for bad.
Exactly, yeah. Now, on the flip side, we have someone like Dan Kaminsky.
Okay. Dan Kaminsky, okay.
He was a renowned DNS expert.
Okay.
And he played a crucial role in
DNS.
In making the internet safer for everyone.
Yeah. So DNS, for people who don't know, that's basically the system that translates website names. Into those numerical IP addresses, right?
It's like the internet's phone book.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, and Kaminsky was a master at understanding its intricacies.
Okay.
And
so he was basically
he uncovered these critical flaws in the DNS protocol that could have allowed hackers to redirect users to malicious websites.
Oh, wow.
Without them even knowing it,
So he was finding vulnerabilities and then fixing them before they could be exploited?
Exactly.
That's some serious white hat work.
That's some serious white hat work.
Right.
Yeah, he also investigated the Sony rootkit scandal back in 2005, where Sony was secretly installing software on people's computers without their consent. So,
oh wow,
yeah, Kaminsky was a true champion for internet security. Worked tirelessly to protect users.
That's amazing. It really shows how the choices these hackers make can have a really profound impact.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not just about technical skills, it's about how they're used.
It's about the ethics. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the line between good and bad in the hacking world is often blurry.
Totally.
Yeah.
It feels like there's almost a philosophical debate playing out in the digital world.
It really does. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
That makes you think.
It does.
This is your need to know.
really talked about like hacker culture itself.
Right.
Is there like a specific set of values or beliefs that like define this world?
You know, there definitely is a distinct hacker culture. It's a subculture, and it has its own language, its own history, even its own art forms.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so interesting.
It's a very unique way of thinking and approaching technology.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's like more about a shared mindset than like a specific set of rules or practices.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about how you think,
Yeah. Okay, so what are some of those like values then, like that kind of characterize this culture?
Well, you know, hacker culture, it values creativity, cleverness, problem solving, a deep understanding of how things work.
Yeah.
There's a strong emphasis on sharing knowledge, on pushing boundaries, and on challenging, conventional thinking.
So it's a mix of intellectual curiosity and a little bit of a rebellious spirit.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. A little bit of going against the grain.
Totally. Yeah.
And this ethos is often illustrated through stories and
and examples from the community.
Okay.
One interesting practice is called bumming code.
Bumming code.
Yeah, have you heard of that?
I haven't. It doesn't sound very technical.
It doesn't sound very technical, no. It's not about stealing code though.
Okay.
It's about taking existing code and making it more concise, more elegant, more
refining it.
Yeah, refining it. Like imagine like a craftsman refining a piece of art, Yeah,
I like that.
Making it beautiful.
So taking something that works and making it even better.
Even better, more streamlined. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
Another famous example involves Bill Gates.
Okay.
Early in his career, he wrote a version of the basic programming language for the Altair computer.
Okay.
And it ended up being very widely shared within the hacker community, much to his displeasure at the time.
Wait, so Bill Gates wasn't happy about people sharing his code?
No, he wasn't. That seems like so ironic considering how big Microsoft became,
It does in hindsight, yeah. But at the time, he felt like his work was being stolen. He even wrote an open letter to hobbyists expressing his frustration.
Okay, so this incident kind of sparked a debate about like intellectual property and like the right to share information.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it really highlighted the tension between the traditional closed source approach to software and the hacker ethos of open access and collaboration.
And that tension continues today.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, with debates about open source software, copyright, and like the free flow of information.
Yeah, it's a fundamental debate that shapes how we think about technology and its role in society.
It's crazy how like this whole world, like this hacker label encompasses so much more than just breaking into computers,
It's a whole way of life, yeah.
It is. It's a culture.
Yeah. It's like its own values, its own history, its own language, its own
its own set of problems, its own controversies,
Totally. And speaking of controversies, we can't talk about hacker culture without exploring the world of hacker art.
Hacker art, yeah.
So we're not just talking like code and algorithms.
Right.
There's actual artistic expression within this subculture.
There is, and it's really quite fascinating.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
Well, a great example is the work of Don Hopkins.
Okay.
He is he's a software hacker artist.
Okay.
Known for his mesmerizing cellular automata art.
Cellular automata art.
Yeah. Have you seen his work?
I haven't. No.
That
sounds very complex.
It is complex, but it's also incredibly beautiful. Think of it as like a computer program that creates these intricate,
ever-changing patterns.
So he's using like the same tools as hackers.
The same tools, the same kind of mindset.
But creating something aesthetically pleasing.
Exactly. Okay. It's like a
digital form of abstract painting?
A digital form of abstract painting. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Hopkins isn't alone. There are many other forms of hacker art, from code-based art to hardware hacking.
Wow. So cool.
Some even use tools like Photoshop in unconventional ways.
To create art.
To create art, exactly.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty amazing how this subculture has developed its own forms of creative expression.
It really does, yeah. And it shows that. Like, hacking can be about more than just breaking things. You know, it can be about building and creating.
Absolutely, yeah. It speaks to that that human desire to push boundaries and to explore new possibilities, even in the digital world.
Yeah, and I love that.
Okay.
But speaking of pushing boundaries, we need to talk about a phrase that's like deeply connected to hacker culture.
Right.
And that is information wants to be free.
Information wants to be free.
Yeah.
It's a powerful statement.
I've heard that phrase, but I'm not sure I fully understand it.
Yeah.
Like, what does it mean in the context of hacking?
It's a powerful statement, and it's often debated. It's attributed to Stuart Brand.
Okay.
And it has multiple interpretations, but I think at its core, it's about this belief that information should be accessible to everyone, and that knowledge inherently seeks to spread. It challenges the idea of restricting access to information and controlling its flow.
So it's almost like breaking down those barriers and allowing knowledge to spread freely.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Knowledge is a powerful force.
Yeah.
And like any powerful force, it wants to be unleashed.
Right.
It's a concept that's deeply intertwined with that hacker ethos of open access and the free exchange of information.
Right, and I could see how that really resonates with hackers who believe in pushing boundaries.
It is. It's a central tenet of their philosophy.
Yeah,
and this concept has been at the heart of debates about, intellectual property, the public domain, and even movements like the cypherpunks.
Right, the cypherpunk. Now, who were they?
They're activists who believe in using cryptography to protect privacy and to promote freedom of speech online.
So they're using technology to protect our individual liberties.
They see strong encryption as a way to empower individuals and to prevent governments or corporations from controlling information.
Right.
Yeah. So
they're like digital.
Yeah, they are
activists in a way.
They are. They're fighting for digital freedom, and the idea that information wants to be free is a rallying cry for them. So
it's amazing how a simple phrase.
Yeah, it's a powerful
can encapsulate such a powerful and complex idea.
It really is. Yeah, and it's an idea that has fueled a particular form of hacking that has garnered both praise and controversy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What is that?
And that is hacktivism.
Ah, hacktivism.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where things start to get really interesting.
Yeah, it's really
dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, so define hacktivism for me.
Hacktivism is essentially the use of hacking techniques to promote social or political change.
Okay.
It's
so using your hacking.
Yeah, it's basically digital activism, and it can range from harmless pranks to serious cyber attacks with real world consequences.
So using your hacking skills for a cause.
For a cause, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Are there different types of hacktivism?
I think we can.
Because I imagine the methods and goals.
Yeah, they can vary widely. I think we can broadly divide hacktivism into two main branches. First, there's cyberterrorism, which focuses on disruptive attacks like website defacement or denial of service attacks.
Okay, so it's about disrupting. It's as a form of protest.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Disruption as a form of protest. Okay. The goal is to disrupt the target's operations and make headlines. Get that attention.
Get that attention.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about the second branch of hacktivism?
The second branch is focused on freedom of information. These hacktivists believe in making information public, especially if it exposes, corruption, abuse of power, or other wrongdoing. They see transparency as a key to holding powerful entities accountable.
So they're almost like digital whistleblowers in a way.
They are. They're like digital whistleblowers.
They're using their skills to like leak information that they believe the public has a right to know.
Exactly. They see themselves as, as fighting for transparency and exposing, secrets that powerful institutions try to keep hidden.
Right. Wow. It sounds like hacktivism could be a very powerful tool for like social change.
It can, yeah.
But it also has this like potential to be like really misused.
For sure.
Yeah. So where do we draw the line between like activism and cybercrime?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And it's one that's fiercely debated.
Yeah.
The ethics and legality of hacktivism are complex.
Right.
And often depend on the specific actions taken and the motivations behind them.
So it's very much a gray area. Like
very much a gray area.
Those gray hat hackers we were talking about earlier.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And perhaps no group embodies this gray area more than Anonymous.
Anonymous. Okay.
Yeah, Anonymous.
Yeah, they're almost like synonymous with hacktivism, right? They're like a digital Robin Hood fighting for like the little guy.
Fighting for the people, yeah.
But they've also been accused of like crossing the line
for sure
into like actual criminal activity.
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah, so who are they?
It's a very complex group. They're a decentralized collective, which means that there's no single leader or hierarchy.
No, it's not like an organization.
Yeah.
It's more of a
it's more of a movement.
A movement.
Yeah. Anyone can claim to be a part of Anonymous, which makes them very difficult to track and to hold accountable. So So it makes them very powerful, but also very unpredictable.
Right. They're like everywhere and nowhere.
They are, yeah. They've been involved in a wide range of operations, from playful pranks to serious cyber attacks.
Right, and they're also known for those like Guy Fawkes masks.
Oh yeah,
the ones from like the movie V for Vendetta, right?
V for Vendetta masks. Yeah, those have become their trademark, a symbol of anonymity and resistance.
Their brand almost.
Yeah, it is kind of. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the like most notable like operations that Anonymous has been involved in?
One of their most well-known campaigns was Project Chinology.
Okay.
Which targeted the Church of Scientology.
Oh, right.
Back in 2008.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was like all over the news.
It was huge, yeah. They were protesting the church's attempts to suppress information and control their public image.
Right.
So
right.
They also launched Operation Payback in 2010.
This was after companies like PayPal and Amazon cut off services to WikiLeaks.
Right.
So they saw those companies as trying to
silence them?
To silence WikiLeaks, and restrict the flow of information.
So they were taking a stand against what they perceived as like censorship.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Anonymous has also been active in supporting social and political movements like Occupy Wall Street, Black Lives Matter, and the Arab Spring uprisings.
Wow.
Yeah, they provided technical support to protesters, helped them to circumvent government censorship, and so they've been involved in
to organize online.
a lot of different events.
They really have. They're constantly adapting their tactics and their targets to align with different causes.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It is, yeah. It's really interesting to see how they kind of morph and evolve to meet the needs of whatever cause they're supporting.
It makes them a very difficult force to...
Very difficult control.
Absolutely, yeah. It really, they embody the complexities and contradictions of hacktivism.
Totally. Okay, so we've covered like the different types of hackers, their motivations. We've even delved into like hacker culture and hacktivism.
Absolutely.
But how do these hackers
That's the big question.
actually do what they do?
Yeah.
Like what methods do they use to exploit systems and gain access to information?
That's where things get really technical.
Okay.
There's a whole range of methods and techniques that hackers use, and they're constantly evolving.
Okay. Well, let's try to like break down some of those.
Okay.
What are like the most common techniques that hackers use?
Well, I think it all starts with finding vulnerabilities.
Hackers are always looking for, for weaknesses in systems.
They're looking for like cracks in the armor.
Cracks in the armor, exactly. Coding errors, misconfigured servers, outdated software, anything that they can exploit to gain access.
Okay.
So once they find a vulnerability, a weakness, they can use various methods to exploit it. One of the most straightforward is brute force attack.
Brute force. Okay, so that doesn't sound very subtle.
It's not subtle at all.
Okay.
No, it involves trying different passwords or combinations until they find one that works.
So it's almost like
it's like trying every key on a giant key ring until you find the one that unlocks the door.
That sounds incredibly tedious.
It can be incredibly tedious, but computers are very good at doing tedious things very quickly.
Yeah.
Right. It's a numbers game. And while it can be effective for simple passwords, it's not very efficient for longer, more complex ones.
Right. Okay. So brute force is all about
it's about
computational
power. Exactly.
Okay.
Just throwing as much computing power as you can at the problem.
Got it. Okay. So brute force. What about hackers that are trying to be a bit more clever?
Right. Yeah.
Like what other methods do they use?
So another common technique is spoofing, also known as phishing.
Phishing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of that.
Have you ever gotten a phishing email?
I think I have. Aren't those the ones that try to trick you into like giving away your personal information?
That's right. Yeah.
Phishing
attacks often involve creating fake websites or emails that look like they're from a legitimate source, like your bank or a trusted company.
So they're trying to like trick you into
clicking a malicious link or entering your password on a fake site.
Right. And once you do that,
they can steal your credentials and access your account.
Wow. Yeah. It's always a reminder to like be really cautious.
I'm very cautious
about clicking links or like entering sensitive information online.
Vigilance is crucial in the digital age.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. So brute force, phishing.
Yeah.
What about hackers who want to stay hidden, like once they've actually gained access to a system?
Right. Yeah. That's where rootkits come in.
Okay. Rootkits.
Yeah. A rootkit is a type of malware that's designed to be very very stealthy.
All right.
It burrows deep into a system, hiding its presence and allowing the hacker to maintain access.
So it's almost like a digital...
Yeah, it's like a backdoor.
That they can kind of...
come and go as they please.
And you don't even know it's there.
You don't know it's there.
That's a scary thought.
It is a scary thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Rootkits are very difficult to detect and remove.
Okay.
Which makes them a very powerful tool for cyber criminals and even nation-state actors.
Right.
So.
Wow. And then there's
social engineering.
Social engineering.
Which is all about manipulating people rather than technology.
So like that.
Yeah, you remember that scene from the movie Hackers?
Yes.
Where the protagonist
tricks the guy into giving him the modem number. Yes.
To break into the system.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that scene.
Classic scene.
It's a classic example of social engineering.
Classic example. Social engineering exploits.
Human psychology?
Human psychology, yeah.
Okay.
Using deception or persuasion to get people to reveal sensitive information or to grant access to systems.
So they're basically using like charm or
manipulation,
even intimidation.
Yeah.
To get what they want.
And it can be incredibly effective because it bypasses all of the technical security measures by targeting the weakest link, us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good reminder that like cybersecurity isn't just about
it's not.
Firewalls and encryption.
No.
It's about understanding how like
human nature,
human psychology can be exploited.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got brute force, phishing, rootkits, social engineering.
Yep.
What about those like self-replicating programs that we always hear about, like viruses and worms?
Yeah.
Like, are those still a threat?
Oh, they're absolutely still a threat, and they can cause a lot of damage. A virus.
So how are viruses different than worms?
Yeah. So a virus attaches itself to another program, and it spreads when that program is executed.
Right.
So think of it like
so it needs a host?
It needs a host, yeah, like a biological virus that needs a host cell to replicate.
Got it.
And then worms are different.
Okay.
Worms are self-contained programs that can spread independently through networks, exploiting vulnerabilities to infect other systems.
It's independent.
They're independent, yeah. They don't need that host program to replicate, which makes them even more dangerous.
Right. So the worm is like a digital parasite.
Yeah, like a parasite. Yeah, burrowing into systems.
Yeah.
And multiplying on its own.
And potentially doing a lot of damage.
Causing a lot of damage. Yeah. Once a worm infects a system, it can steal data, launch attacks, or even disrupt critical infrastructure.
Wow, that's pretty scary. It is pretty scary, yeah.
Are there any other hacking methods that we should be aware of?
One more that's particularly stealthy is keystroke logging.
Okay, keystroke logging.
Yeah. This allows a hacker to record everything you type on your computer. Passwords, credit card numbers.
Oh, wow.
Anything.
So it's basically like having a digital spy, like
it's a digital spy.
Watching your every move.
Yeah. And keyloggers can be very, very difficult to detect.
So even if you think you're doing something in private, it's not necessarily private.
It might not be.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a...
that's a little unsettling.
It's unsettling, yeah. It's a stark reminder that even things that we type in private can be compromised.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
cybersecurity is...
It's a constant battle.
A constant battle.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Okay, so this has been incredibly insightful. I mean, hacking is clearly a complex...
constantly evolving field, and we've kind of seen the range of motivations, the methods, the blurry lines between like good and bad.
It's a fascinating world. It really is.
It really is. But now I think it's time to like face the darker side of this world, and that is
the dark side.
Cybercrime,
yeah. A growing problem with real world consequences that we need to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a topic that deserves our full attention.
Yeah, definitely does. Okay, well let's dive into the world of cybercrime then.
Let's do it.
And see what we're up against.
See what we're dealing with.
Wow. We've covered so much in this deep dive. I mean, it feels like we've only just scratched the surface of this like vast and intricate world of hacking, And as we wrap things up, I'm curious, what's resonated most with you? Like, what's been the most surprising or thought-provoking insight for you?
For me, it's that inherent duality of hacking. You know, it's a force that can be used for good or for bad, a tool for liberation or oppression. It can be a source of, incredible creativity, but also immense destruction. And And the line between those opposing forces is constantly shifting.
Yeah, that duality is definitely one of the things that makes this whole topic so like captivating.
It is.
It really is like holding up a mirror to like human nature itself.
It is, yeah.
But looking ahead, I mean, how do you see this landscape changing? Like, what trends should we be paying attention to? What's coming next?
Well, I think one thing that's going to have a huge impact is artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
AI. We're already seeing AI being used to automate attacks, making them faster, more sophisticated, and much harder to defend against.
Right.
So imagine a future where, AI-powered malware can learn and adapt in real time, constantly evolving to evade,
wow,
even the most advanced security measures.
That's a pretty unsettling thought. It's like that AI arms race that we see in sci-fi movies, but it's becoming reality.
It is. It's becoming reality. Yeah. It's something we need to prepare for. But on the flip side, AI can also be a powerful tool for good in cybersecurity.
To compound those threats.
Yeah. We can use it to develop smarter, more adaptive security systems that can actually keep pace with those evolving threats.
So it's that.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, the double-edged sword, yeah.
As with many powerful technologies.
For sure.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about like the rise of cybercrime.
Right.
Do the sources like offer any insights into how that particular threat is evolving?
One trend that really stands out is the increasing professionalization of cybercrime. We're not just dealing with lone wolf hackers anymore.
Right.
Criminal gangs are operating like sophisticated businesses with specialized roles, advanced tools, and even
wow. So they've got
customer support networks.
Like the whole
the whole package. It's crazy.
So organized crime is moving into the digital world in
a big way.
Big way.
Absolutely.
Wow. That raises an important question then. How do we attract and retain talent on the side of good? How do we encourage more people to use their
It's a great question.
hacking skills for ethical purposes?
Yeah, it's a critical challenge. We need to we need to create more opportunities for ethical hackers, both in the private sector and within government agencies.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing and rewarding their skills and fostering a culture that celebrates their positive contributions to society.
Yeah, I think it's about making ethical hacking sound cool.
Make it cool.
Just like
with the bad guys.
Like the bad guys often seem cool in movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need to shift that narrative. Showcase the real world impact that ethical hacking can have. We need inspiring stories that show young people how they can use their talents to make the world a safer, more secure place.
I think those stories are out there. We just need to do a better job of
we do,
highlighting them.
We need to highlight those for sure.
Yeah. But what about the role of governments in all of this? What actions can they take to address these evolving threats?
Well, I think governments have a huge responsibility in this space.
Yeah.
They need to invest in strengthening cybersecurity infrastructure, both to protect their own systems and to support businesses and individuals in defending themselves.
Yeah.
They also need to work together on a global level, establishing international norms and laws to govern cyberspace and to deter malicious activity.
So it's very much like a global...
It's a global
issue that requires a global response.
It requires a global response.
It's all about collaboration.
Collaboration and cooperation are key.
And cooperation, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Cybersecurity transcends national borders.
Yeah.
It's something that affects everyone from individual users to businesses to governments.
Right.
We all need to work together to create a more secure and resilient digital world.
It's been incredible exploring the world of hacking with you. We've covered so much, and it's clear that this is such a complex, ever-changing landscape that's going to continue to shape our world in really profound ways.
Absolutely, yeah. And as technology continues to advance at this incredible pace, the stakes are only going to get higher.
They are. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key message you'd like to leave our listener with?
I think the most important thing is to remember that knowledge is power. Wow. Be aware of the threats, understand the motivations of those who might exploit you, and take steps to protect yourself. Cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of hacking. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, information wants to be free, but it also needs to be protected.
This is your need to know. Under neon lights, shadows twist and fly. Electric whispers scream like a haunting dream. I see the static flare in the night. Circuits come alive in the spirit eye, caught in a web of light. Trust through the storm of dust. In the glitch we trust. Our spirits they combust. Data streams fragmented shattered beams, lost in waves of sound when our peace is found. Invisible chains in the techno-bent. Echoes of revolt spark a thunderbolt. In the chaos we ignite. In the glitch we trust. Through the storm of dust. In the glitch we trust. Our spirits they combust. Circuits low, lost in the digital crow, free in the glitch we row. In the glitch we trust. Through the storm of dust. In the glitch we trust. Our spirits they combust. To the side of maze, wide into the blaze. Pulses synchronize in electric skies. Waves of frostbite and heat collide. Virtual warfare in a worldly bear. As we rise into the fight. In the glitch we trust. Through the storm of dust. In the glitch we trust. Our spirits they combust. We will roast. Our main stage I killed. Ready on cross around. We scream, living the digital dream. Fractured mirrors glow in the undertow, caught in the pulse of code and light. Phantom signals spread through the network's thread. We're electrified by might.